So let's also look at a little bit of history of peer-to-peer networks before we actually see the different applications. Napster was the first peer-to-peer application that really popularized peer-to-peer networking. It was basically a music sharing system that looked at sharing MP3s. So this is based on a centralized server, so it is not pure peer-to-peer, but there are some aspects of peer-to-peer to it. And it operated between June 1999 to July 2001, and at its peak, it actually had a user base in millions. In other words, there were millions subscribed to Napster. It started in June, but right in December itself, there was the first lawsuit on Napster. Well, it was sharing music files that were copyrighted, thereby all these record companies sued Napster. So it ran into many legal difficulties over this copyright infringement, and finally it had to shut down in July 2001. And by this time, other file sharing systems took over. Gnutella had by that time learned from the fall of Napster, so it went for a totally distributed architecture, making it very difficult to pull the plug, because now the law enforcement agencies cannot catch one single person. In Napster, they could catch Napster because it was facilitating the copyright violations. In this particular case, since all the peers are distributed, it's not so easy to sue any individual. So this is the first decentralized peer-to-peer system that enjoyed large popularity. So originally this was released by a company called AOL, but it immediately withdrew it due to legal concerns. After that, they just made it open source. There were a lot of performance issues with Gnutella at the beginning, so it underwent many iterations to fix many of them. So you have a variety of clients that implement this particular protocol. Because it is open source, they generally forked off and came up with different client versions. Gnutella is available to this day. So at its peak, its user base was also in millions. For example, by late 2007, it enjoyed an estimated market share of these file sharing systems of more than 40%. So just like Napster, it also had to face lawsuits on certain client variants. So post 2010, there has been a notable drop in the size of the Gnutella network. Kazaa was introduced in March 2001, yet another file sharing system. And this improved Gnutella by imposing a two-tier hierarchy. Basically, it combined the strengths of Napster as well as Gnutella, but it has not been active since 2012. So Kazaa was used for sharing MP3s, albums, videos, games, so on. Unlike Gnutella, which is open source, Kazaa is proprietary protocol. Even the control data is encrypted. Even this had user base in millions. It was more popular than Napster ever was. But like Napster, this was also target of many copyright related lawsuits. So then came BitTorrent. Probably you're all familiar with this. So this was released by B. Cohen in July 2001. It's very popular. Even to this day, it is extensively used for file sharing. At one point, that is in November 2004, it was responsible for 35% of all internet traffic. That's a huge amount of traffic was peer-to-peer supported by BitTorrent. BitTorrent is very different from other peer-to-peer systems we will see shortly. So the main difference is, while others were focusing on how to efficiently search, BitTorrent focuses on how to efficiently fetch. We'll see more of this later. For example, Blizzard Entertainment, if you know the games Diablo or World of Warcraft, these are from this company. They use BitTorrent to distribute their games as well as patches. UK government uses it to distribute tax information. A lot of research institutes also use BitTorrent to share scientific data. Facebook also uses it to distribute update amongst its many servers. So to summarize, peer-to-peer systems support a wide range of applications, among which file sharing is the most prominent one. This was a very disruptive application that became very popular in the 2000s. So peer-to-peer systems are built on top of an overlay network. There are two types of overlays, structured and unstructured. We'll focus mostly on unstructured overlays. Any peer-to-peer file sharing system has to support four primitives: join, publish, search, and fetch. So as we see these applications, we will see how all these four are done. There are many systems available, as I said. We looked at their history: Napster, Gnutella, Kazaa, and BitTorrent.